What's up, everyone? It's Joji here. No, I'm just kidding. I've gotten a couple of requests on maybe doing a music theory kind of lesson on Joji's Run. So, yeah, here we go. Also, check out this fucking sweet unicorn I got. Like, lights up. It's amazing. Alright, so I've got the tabs open here, and I'll explain all this other stuff here in a bit. But first, what we should do is kind of break down what these chords are. So this first one is an E minor. I feel like you guys are probably familiar with this. It's missing a 2 right there to be like the full chord that people are used to seeing. This one right here is the B7 with the root on the F sharp. So I've got a diagram over here, and you can see that the shapes are basically the same. Like this F sharp right here, when it says like slash F sharp, that's basically what it means, that the root note is different, because the B7 otherwise would have had the root note on something else. And then this chord right here, where I'm circling, is like a G, except it's missing the 2 here. But you can kind of see that it should be a G, because later on he plays this 2. And then this is the A minor that he plays later on. So those are all the chords. So we can write those down. First one's E minor, then the B7, and then a G, and then he goes into the A minor. And now this chart on the right here is like the holy grail, the magical like hit song chart, basically. You guys have probably heard of like 4-chord songs. Usually when people think of that, you think of your C, your G, A minor, F chord progression. And this chart is kind of what they're talking about, except this is in a minor key, and this right here is in a major key. But basically, you can just go to like Google Images and look up minor scale chord chart, and then you can find this chart. And with this chart, you'll basically be able to find the 4-chord versions of a minor key. So I'll go more into this later, but looking at this chart and these notes, you can kind of see that if we're in a minor key of E minor, which this song is in, then you would be on this row right here. So if we assign these like Roman numerals or numbers to each of these chords, this E minor is the 1 or the I. This B7, it's kind of like this 5, except not really, because the root is on an F sharp. But we can also see that the F sharp is the 2 right here. So that's kind of why this chord works, even though it's not exactly a B minor like it should be in this chart. So let's just write that for now. And this G looks like it's the 3 right over here, and the A minor is the 4. So the 1, 5, 3, that should be capitalized, and 4, these are kind of like very popular minor scale chord progressions, and Joji uses them a lot. He uses them in Slow Dancing in the Dark, but switched around. XXXTENTACION uses them in like Sad. So if you're trying to make like a hit song with a minor key, you can basically just like look up this chart, and for whatever key you're in, you can kind of choose it and then play these same Roman numerals, and then you'll have like a song that has the same vibe, basically. So for example, if I wanted to make a song like Run again, but in the key of G minor, I could just do like G minor, that's your 1, then you go to your 5, and then instead of a D minor, we would play like a D with the root note as an A, because that's what he does. And then for our 3, we would play a B flat. And then for our 4, we would play this C minor. Alright, I'm going to demonstrate what the fuck I was just talking about now. So with Slow Dancing in the Dark, he uses these chords. This is a C sharp major, A sharp minor, D sharp minor, and an F minor. Whoops. When I'm around slow dancing in the dark, don't follow me, you'll end up in my arms. You made up your mind. Alright, so you get the point. Basically, if you want to make a hit song like Joji, you would just take those chords and those chord progressions and just use that same kind of thing if you want that sound. And the same with XXX's song. Who am I, someone that's afraid to let go? You decide if you'll ever try to let me know. Suicide if you'll ever try to let go. I'm sad, I know, yeah. I'm sad, I know, yeah. Cool. So now you see that those chords are basically the same Roman numerals. They're just played in different orders. And, that's just what Western, music kind of leans towards. It just sounds good to people. There's nothing wrong with using, the chart and the chords, because, it's just what is popular, what your ear kind of likes. But, it's not like there's a lack of creativity when using them, because it's not really about using them. It's about putting emotion behind your song and, adding your own personality into, the music and what you play and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely give making one of these 4-chord songs a shot. And, you can always add embellishments onto your chords to make them, more you, to show what kind of influence you have as a guitar player or musician. For example, I'm very, I play a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers, Hendrix stuff. So in that XXX song, you can kind of add your own stuff, and that's what making music is about. So to wrap it up, using these chord progression charts and music theory is just a way to communicate, what you're playing, and a way to describe things that other people are playing. So you can use these charts to, take your love for Joji and his music and be able to incorporate, his style and, take influence from him by doing this. So I feel like some people make music theory out to be some sort of like complicated, like catch-all thing that, will teach you everything to be like a guitar or music god or whatever. But, it's just about communicating and being able to do that. Yep, so that's it. Let me know if that was helpful at all, or if you have any questions. And if you want me to do a video on the solo as well and kind of break that down a bit more, then leave a comment. Peace.